Your brain. They're ignoring me on purpose. Welcome to a brain that thinks the world is after you. And the worst part? It doesn't feel crazy. It feels completely logical. And before we begin, send this to your delusional friend to bring them back to reality. Sign 1. Your brain is built to detect threats. Let's get one thing clear. Your brain is not broken. It's doing its job, just a little too well. Thousands of years ago, if you heard a sound in the bushes and assumed, it's probably nothing, you died. But if you assumed that might be a threat, you survived. So your brain evolved to assume danger first, ask questions later. Now, fast forward to today, there are no predators chasing you. But your brain didn't update the software. So now, it sees threats where there are none. Sign 2. The spotlight effect on steroids. You already think people notice you more than they actually do. That's normal. But paranoia takes it to another level. It turns "people might notice me" into "people are watching me," and then into "they're watching me for a reason." Your brain puts you under a spotlight in a room where everyone is too busy looking at themselves. Sign 3. How a simple thought turns into a full story. It always starts small. A look, a whisper, a delay in response. Your brain takes that tiny piece of information and builds an entire movie. Example, someone glances at you. They recognized me. They whisper to someone. They're talking about me. They laugh. Yeah, definitely about me. Now, suddenly in your mind, there's a whole conspiracy, with you at the center. Sign 4. Your brain connects dots that don't exist. Here's where it gets scary. Your brain is amazing at finding patterns. Too amazing. It connects things that are completely unrelated. Delulu. You see the same person twice in a day? They're following me. Your friend replies late? They're avoiding me. Two people stop talking when you walk in? They were talking about me. Your brain creates connections even when there are none. And once it creates them, it refuses to let go. Sign 5. The feeling comes before the thought. This is important. Paranoia doesn't start with logic. It starts with the feeling, a weird sense that something is off. Then your brain goes, okay, why do I feel this way? And instead of saying, I don't know, it creates an answer. They're watching me. They're judging me. They're after me. So now the feeling has a story, and the story feels real to you, to be honest. Sign 6. Your brain becomes a detective. Once the idea is planted, your brain starts investigating. But not objectively. It only looks for proof that confirms the fear. You notice every glance, every whisper, every coincidence, and ignore neutral behavior, random events, normal explanations. Your brain becomes a detective trying to prove a case that doesn't exist. Sign 7. Why you can't just stop thinking it. People will say, bro, no one is after you. And logically, you might even agree. But emotionally, it still feels real. Because this isn't just a thought, it's a system in your brain. Threat detection, pattern recognition, emotional response, all working together. You can't just turn it off. Sign 8. The body reacts like it's real. Here's the worst part. Your body doesn't know the difference. If your brain says you're in danger, your body responds. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, breathing changes. Now you feel like something is wrong, which makes the thought feel even more real. It's a loop. Thought, feeling, more thought, more fear. Sign 9. The what if they are trap. Even when you try to calm down, your brain hits you with this. But what if it's true? And that one question keeps the paranoia alive. Because you can't prove 100% that it's false, so your brain chooses the safer option. Better assume it's real. Sign 10. Small things become huge.
In a paranoid state, everything gets magnified. A normal look becomes suspicious. A random coincidence becomes intentional. A neutral tone becomes hostile. It's like your brain zooms in and refuses to zoom out. Sign 11. Isolation makes it worse. The more you stay in your head, the worse it gets, because there's no external reality to balance it. No one to say, hey, that's not what's happening. So your thoughts echo louder and louder until they feel like facts. Sign 12. Your brain hates being wrong. Once your brain commits to a belief, it defends it, even if it's wrong. So instead of saying, maybe I'm overthinking, it says, no, this makes sense. And now you're stuck because your brain won't challenge itself. Sign 13. The difference between instinct and illusion. Here's something important. Sometimes your gut is right, but paranoia feels different. Real danger is usually clear, immediate, observable. Paranoia is vague, repetitive, based on interpretation. If you have to build a story to explain it, it's probably not real.
Sign 14. Breaking the loop. So how do you deal with this? Not by forcing the thoughts away, but by questioning the story. Instead of, they're following me, ask, what else could explain this? Instead of, they're watching me, ask, do I have actual proof? Not feelings, proof. And most of the time, there isn't any. Sign 15. Ground yourself in reality. When your brain starts spiraling, come back to what's real. What can you see? What can you hear? What is actually happening right now? Not what you think is happening, what is provably happening. This pulls you out of your head, back into reality. Sign 16. You are not your thoughts. Your brain produces thoughts. That's its job. But that doesn't mean every thought is true. Some are fear-based, pattern errors, completely made up. You don't have to believe all of them.
Sign 17. Your brain is trying to protect you. At the end of the day, this isn't your brain attacking you. It's your brain trying to protect you. It just sees danger everywhere, even where there is none. And in trying to keep you safe, it makes you feel unsafe. And finally, the reality check. Here's the truth most people don't realize. People are not watching you that closely. They're not analyzing you. They're not following you. They're too busy dealing with their own thoughts, their own problems, their own insecurities. You're not the center of their world. And that's actually a good thing. So next time your brain tells you, they're watching you, they're talking about you, they're after you, pause and ask yourself, is this reality or just another story? Because your brain, it's very convincing, but it's not always right. If this hit a little too close to home, good. That means you're starting to see it. And once you see it, it loses power. Subscribe for more videos that break down the weird things your brain does, because trust me, this is just one of them.